it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with match number 1 with the green red Goblin Tribal. We're gonna go ahead and keep this hand. It has a Wooded Foothills and a Forest, Lightning Bolt, Legion Loyalist. We actually have a very decent little start. I'll go Wooded Foothills, most likely just for a... We don't need a Stomping Ground, so we can just go get just a basic mountain here. And then just go ahead. Yeah, we don't need anything fancy. We have our one of a Forest that can get the Jund Hackblade. He's going to get Gitaxian Probe. If this is Death Shadow, I'm really looking forward to this because I think I'll kill him before he can kill me, especially with the mulligan. So we'll start off with the Tattermunge Maniac. And then we can bolt off. Actually, I think I'll start off with Legion Loyalist because it, well, I'm trying to think here because we can use the green next turn. I can actually use the green first turn just to go to the Tattermunge Maniac, and then, yeah, not that big of a deal. All right, so this sleight of hand into some sort of spells-based deck. I want to say Jeskai Ascendancy is what this is looking like mostly, with the sleight of hand Gitaxian Probe. With the Hallowed Fountain, because most storm-based decks, of course, don't use the Hallowed Fountains, but a Jeskai Ascendancy does, and it does use these two cards as well. So let's just see what we draw into. It's going to be another land, so here we can just go ahead and thin out our deck. There's no point to... This can go get a Stomping Grounds, this can go get just a basic mountain. And we'll start off with the Maniac. So next turn we have the Legion Loyalist and a Bolt if there is any sort of target for it. Worst case scenario would be something like a wall. It's going to just be another Serum Vision. So he's digging quite early. These spells in Ascendancy are, of course, better for the later game, but they do have a ton of them. They have 4 Gitaxian Probes, 4 Sleight of Hands, and 4 Serum Visions. So it's not that big of a deal to be using them early. Our opponent has gone down to a 16, helped us out first turn by doing 4 damage. This is usually where these aggro decks do very well. If he does play a mountain too, they'll have the Mountain Walk, which might come into handy if they do put out some sort of card as a blocker. The Reckless Bushwhacker also is going to work out very well the following turn after up there. So there's the Steam Vents. All right, this should work out in our favor. Goblin Guide is a perfect card here because we can just go the Windswept. I doubt he put a land on top, so let's get Stomping Grounds. And this allows us to Goblin Guide and Legion Loyalist. Yeah, because next turn we'll have the Goblin King. So Goblin Guide, we'll go Legion Loyalist. And we will attack him with all creatures. This is 5 damage. He's down to an 11. And barring like a board wipe, I think we're in pretty good shape. So he did reveal a card. What was it? Just a Probe. And he'll use the Probe, go down to a 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, Reckless Bushwhacker with Bolt is a better play than the Goblin King at this point. Still really don't know what I'm up against. I'm still thinking it's going to be Jeskai Ascendancy. And that's pretty much going to guarantee a victory next turn with the Probe. As I'll bolt him. No Cryptic Command quite yet. And then the Reckless Bushwhacker. Yeah, I have a hard time finding a way out of this. Yeah, we'll just actually pay the Spell Pierce mana. Because that just gets him down to a 3, and now if he bolts off 1, he still dies. Actually, he survives here if he bolts, so maybe I should have gone with the Reckless Bushwhacker. That can always just happen next turn with or a Goblin King. Snapcaster Mage doesn't save him either. Oh yes, it does. So Helix is actually really good if there's a Helix. So he's down to a 4. Now I don't quite know what we're up against with just the probes. Another sleight of hand. You know what? I bet this is just the Pyromancer's Jeskai Pyromancer's Ascension control. Yep, I bet that this is what it is. It doesn't seem like it's Jeskai Ascendancy as far as the old, well, the actual Jeskai Ascendancy card. This looks like it's going to be the Pyromancer's version. So if he's got another Helix, he stabilizes. Decided to take out the Goblin Guide, which could fill back up his hand. I'm wondering why he's not. I guess the sleight of hands he's only used 1 center vision, so the sleight of hands actually doesn't fix the top of the library. Another Reckless Bushwhacker, which is good. I think we will just go the Goblin King. So he needs to have another Helix here. And he'll Helix off the King. And that does buy him a turn. But we shouldn't have any dead drops next turn. As if we should be able to cast whatever it is, and then Reckless Bushwhacker. Goes down to a 2. See if you can go off here with some sort of shenanigans. Okay, Pyromancer's Ascension, yes, that's... And Sleight of Hand, which just puts a counter on it. So he needs a Bolt now. So we'll bring in the Destructive Revelries for the Pyromancer's Ascension. Sometimes they only run 2, though, is the thing with this Ascension control. But I think it's worthwhile to bring it in. I also do think Bloodmoon wants to come in here. So most likely it's just a Bolt that's stuck in his hand. And the Hackblade will absolutely do it. And this will be overkill. So I could bring in like a Atarka's Command. He's just going to show me the Bolt. So yeah, the Bolt for the... Yeah, you're still very much dead. Doesn't gain haste, but the Bushwhacker gives it haste now. So we will attack in, and that is lethal. All right, so going to the sideboard. There is some definite interesting things. Like Atarka's Command, I do believe comes in. And I don't think we necessarily need the Shushers are kind of cool because we have this, we do know that he runs Spell Pierce. But is it just worse off than some of these other cards? Like Goblin Guide, the Burning-Tree Emissary, Hackblade. Hackblades are probably a weaker card I do want. I do think I want Destructive Revelry, but I just don't. Most of the time they only do run the one or two of the Pyromancer's Ascension in this one. I mean, it's not heavy on Pyromancer. If I'm thinking correctly, I'm trying to think what the other. It's just a ton of control, ton of control until they find the Pyromancer's Ascension, and then they get value off of Lightning Helix and Lightning Bolt. So I definitely want the Atarka's Command. I think that those can just replace the Reckless Bushwhacker, because I don't want too many of those effects, or I just try to go quicker than him and get rid of cards like Boartusk Liege. Other than Boartusk Liege does completely Lightning Bolt can't kill it. Goblin King is interesting. I think I keep it in. I think I want to go this route here. I mean, the Loyalist is not necessary. We can take a Loyalist out. Does get first second trample. I'm thinking Snapcasters might be in the deck. Lightning Bolt, Atarka's Command will be enough damage to the face. The Witch could be cut. It's slow. And I think maybe the Witch in for the Reckless Bushwhacker, just two of them, is probably the right line of play. And I'm going to just put in one Destructive Revelry. That way, if I draw it versus the Pyromancer's Ascension, it's pretty good. Bloodmoon is something that could easily come in against this match. But I'm going to forego using it. This is a decent hand. We'd have to draw into a land. I'm going to mulligan it. We need 2 lands. I'll keep this one because we do get a scry and put it on top. Okay, so that's good. This is a great hand. We have a turn 2 Burning-Tree Emissary into Burning-Tree Emissary into Bold. So I'm definitely okay with keeping this hand. So a Thought Scour is in our opponent's hand. I want to draw into something like a Reckless Bushwhacker here would be amazing, or a Jund Hackblade. And a Ratchet Bomb. A Ratchet Bomb, I think it's just going to be a little bit too slow. We have too many, like, very diverse converted mana costs. So, there's another Bolt. So, we'll go Burning-Tree Emissary into Burning-Tree Emissary into Bolt. I can just go and grab just a basic. I don't need another green source for any reason, I don't believe. So, just a basic mountain is fine. And then we'll go Burning-Tree Emissary. Into Burning-Tree Emissary. And unfortunately, just a Bolt. But we get in there for another 2. And we did give him an island off the Goblin Guide. So he's down to a 10. And forgets to put a counter on his Ratchet Bomb. So that was definitely a mistake. It's going to take another turn for the Goblin Guide. So now any sort of Atarka's Command. We have no dead draws again because of land. Well, sort of. I don't want to hit another like Chieftain. Or even at this point like a Reckless Bushwhacker. But if we draw into a land, of course, it's for the Goblin Chieftain comes out. Manamorphose is probably going to generate some, white. So he has to use it right now, though. For the Goblin Guide is what I would kill. With the Lightning Helix. He's going to go another Manamorphose. So he's really digging here. Rest for the Weary. Okay, he gains a lot of life. I think, though, that Lightning Helix would have been better, because it would take care of potential damage if I draw a land here. And we do draw a land, so we will just go ahead, get another basic. We want to keep our life total pretty high because he is a damage-based deck. But this just negated the rest for the Weary, used his white source. He will put a counter on the Ratchet Bomb, which still... can take care of the Goblin Guide. So now we need to avoid drawing into lands. He's using a lot of, like, once he does get into Pyromancer's Ascension, he's already used a lot of these duplicates. We do know he has another Manamorphose in hand. Actually, I don't want to use the Maniac. Yeah, I don't want to use the Maniac because he just Ratchet Bombs it away. Alright, so we'll just attack in. So Manamorphose Lightning Helix would be the best play. Lightning Helix is coming up. So if I were to bolt off my own Goblin Guide, I don't think that's not really that relevant. I think I will play the Maniac here. So he does get to kill the Burning-Tree Emissaries. He gets a Lightning Helix next turn, but he's used 3 Manamorphoses and still doesn't have a white source. Yeah, this kills off the Chieftains. So what he needs to do is he needs to find like another Sleight of Hand or Serum Visions and find a white source and then play it. Because he can kill the 2 Burning-Tree Emissaries and he can Helix off the Chieftain. And he got 2 cards that he didn't need, so that's good. For him. See if he gets the white source. That is not a white source. That is a Steam Vents. So he needs that 4th Manamorphose. Boartusk Liege is something that you can't quite cast. So Ratchet Bomb. And he does have that 4th Manamorphose. Ay, ay, ay. So unfortunately, we're still 2 damage off. He's used double Lightning Helix on all 4 Manamorphoses. And has, unfortunately, milled away his Pyromancer's Ascension. Throws away a Bolt and a Steam Vents. And there's a Thing in the Ice. And the Glacial Fortress for a potential Lightning Helix number 3 or 4. So no dead draws here. A land gets us the Boartusk Liege. A Burning-Tree Emissary doesn't do a lot. I think we'll just keep back the Burning-Tree Emissary. But our opponent does seem to be stabilizing a bit. I could bolt off the thing in the ice and just have it be done with. It's kind of iffy because he seems to me like he's going to be relying on that thing in the ice as the win con for this, but I'm just 2 bolts away from winning this, or another bolt, or Atarka's command. So I don't think I'd do anything here. Possibly I should just play the Burning-Tree Emissary. So he's going to bolt that off. I really do think I need to bolt off the thing in the ice. Oh, he's got the second thing in the ice. 1 card in hand, though. He's gone through quite a few sleight of hands and Serum Visions. Let's see if we can draw our 4th land. Hackblade. That's fine, actually, because we can go Burning-Tree Emissary. Into Hackblade. So he's got that just might as well bluff an attack. So 2 lightning bolts, 2 lightning helixes, Thought Scour, which finds a Rest for the Weary and a Reef. That's actually pretty decent. Serum Visions. And there's the Pyromancer's Ascension. But he's got 1 card left in hand. No Manamorphoses to abuse. We need to draw this land. Shouldn't be any dead cards. Yeah, Chieftain was fine here. And we'll go ahead and attack him with everything. Hopefully he doesn't have another bolt in hand. So at this point, he's got to block the Hackblade. And then he loses the thing in the ice, unless he's got that bolt. He does not. All right, so that takes away one of his win cons because he's really down to just 2 bolts and 2 lightning helixes. And he's got to get enough cards on that Pyromancer's Ascension with only 2 Thought Scours left. I mean, the Faithless Looting is good because it does put a counter and allows him to get rid of any lands that's in his hands. And it was a Pyromancer's Ascension and another Steam Vents. Flashback, kind of a Hail Mary Faithless Looting. But he still has to discard 2 cards. So I'm wondering what he can do with 1 card in hand. Yeah, there's nothing he can do with 1 card in hand with the wrong type of mana. And there's the concession. All right, so we win our first game. We'll on our next one. This is Kevin with GatheringMagic.com. Thanks for watching.